talking about talking shit, Sean. I don't want to talk about this next segment because I know what you're going to say.
Right. You don't know my full opinion.
Okay.
I just what I like to do is I like to challenge people on their thoughts, even if I don't take the side of the challenger. You know?
Yeah.
I just like to pick people up on people's brains.
So this obviously is House of the Dragon, the final episode 8 of season 2.
Yes.
You go.
I go.
What were your thoughts?
So overall, I've enjoyed the season.
Yeah.
Overall, I don't think it's as good as season 1.
All right.
And I felt like it was a little bit flat.
Right.
Having said that, still like all of the character development.
Yeah.
Still love the character drama, the character interactions. Still love all of that. But for a finale, and I know that you differ on this because you text me, I just think this was, in some ways, it was good ending because it led to a potential it led to excitement for season 3, but in other ways it was dull.
Right. I've got a real problem with this argument that people are going around at the moment saying, oh, there needed to be a battle and things like that. There has never been a real dramatic battle in the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Doesn't matter.
It always has to set up.
Doesn't matter.
For the story to come.
Doesn't matter.
And actually, I think there were some real quality moments in this episode with character. And do you know what I was actually thinking? Finally, in the past few episodes, I was thinking finally, because for me, although I love season 1, and there were some great moments with Viserys the King, who was a great character actor in it, there was no character depth or emotion to the characters. I felt there was really limited connections between the characters.
There's a massive argument between Rhaenyra and Alicent in the first season.
But for me, you're finally getting character to the surrounding characters.
It's a boiling point.
You're getting like characters like past few episodes. Aegon has massively come out as a great character with a emotional kind of depth.
Mm-hmm.
Larys Strong has become a good character.
Mm-hmm.
Aemond has become a good character. He's actually got some decent. He actually in this last episode showed some emotion for once, some anger with his sister, and some drama
anger and
emotion.
almost uncontrollable. He almost looked like a little boy.
Yeah.
Because he had some tears.
Because he's finally got some emotion there.
Yeah.
You got Alicent.
He's desperate.
Alicent desperate to save her daughter. Helena getting some good scenes. Yeah. You've got the son Jacaerys not liking the new dragon seeds and a bit of tension coming there. I just think we're finally getting to what made peak Game of Thrones, which was all the characters having relationships and characters with each other.
And
that's why I liked it.
I don't have a problem with any of that. I agree with you that it's top quality character development.
Can I just go through some of the episode?
Can just before you say anything, I felt that in certain episodes it happened like 4 or 5 times. We had one big episode which was a battle and a dragon battle, awesome, yeah. But about 4 or 5 times it was like, oh, there's a battle. Oh no, it's the end. There was a battle, but you didn't get to see it.
They have to do that, and they've always done that.
Including this last episode, it was like it just cut to a city on fire, and you're just like, oh, I would have loved to have seen that. Can
I just say then, because I want to add to that, like, let me go through some of the episodes.
The blue ball in me, Tom.
Let me go through some of the episode 9s that we've had in Game of Thrones, right? Now, admittedly, this isn't an episode 9, it's an episode 8, or what I want to say is the episode before this was an episode 7, but it's still the penultimate episode. Yeah. This is what we've always had. Game of Thrones Series 1, Baelor, which is where Ned Stark gets his head cut off. Yep. Really dramatic. Episode 2, Blackwater. Oh, sorry, season 2, episode 9, Blackwater, which was the Battle of Blackwater Bay with Tyrion. Yeah. He actually gets not knocked out in that one, but he gets knocked out in a different one. You don't see the entire battle in that one though either. Yeah. Season 3, episode 9, The Rains of Castamere, which was the Red Wedding. All right. You always get the dramatic episode as the penultimate episode, so they can recover, set up the characters, set up the tensions and conflict for the next season, right?
Yeah.
In the penultimate episode of this season, we got the Red Sowing, which was the dragons getting chosen.
Which was cool.
That was great, man.
Yeah,
it was
it was
amazing
great.
and it was dramatic.
It was.
We can't forget, these are like insanely expensive episodes to make with the dragons, right? It blows a budget doing a battle like that for the Rook's Rest battle. So that's why they can't do it. B, they can't do it because it doesn't happen in the story. There is an upcoming battle which is massively dramatic, which they could have done.
So why didn't they do 10 episodes?
Okay, so I'll tell you.
Yeah.
They could have done episode 9 and then episode 10 as the battle.
Yeah.
Which there is a massive battle coming.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happens. But what they chose to do instead
Is prolong
is have
the story.
shorter seasons and add an extra season on. They've just confirmed that season 4 is going to be the last season.
So this is where I'm a little bit concerned. This is what I'm a little bit concerned about.
People would be complaining even more down the road that there's more filler episodes, more filler episodes.
I'm a little bit concerned here because the complaint with the end of Game of Thrones, the last couple of seasons, is that they rushed it. Yeah, but you can do the same about prolonging something.
Yeah,
and have the same effect on fans, on viewership, on experience. So them extending it for an extra season when they could do it potentially in 3 if they added 10 episodes per season. I would rather. I mean, I don't know how they're going to execute it. But 2 extra episodes in this season, and we would have got a.
No,
I'm telling you now, Tom. Everyone would have loved it.
I think it would have been rushed. But picture this: season 3 comes round. You open with the episode that is the battle.
It's not going to happen.
The dramatic thing.
It's not going to happen.
No, it'll probably be episode 2.
They'll probably extend it until episode 8, mate.
No, it'll probably be episode 2. But I think there's enough there in the story.
If it's episode 2, then they can do it in 10 episodes in season 2.
Yeah, but they were also battling with the writers' strike. There were loads of things that they were battling with.
Now we have to wait 3 years.
I think people just.
Now we have to wait 3 years.
Forgive me, guys, but I just think people are ungrateful sometimes. Like, it's an insanely good show. Like, there's so much happens.
It is a good show.
Like,
it is a good show. These are just constructive criticisms.
Because there were some people out there like, why aren't there dragons fighting every episode?
No, they just needed. Like I said in the last podcast episode, I felt that they needed to go out with a bang for this season in particular because there has been so much character development. It's all been good stuff. But there just needed to be there needed to be a bang to get people excited for the 3rd season. Yes, people are probably excited for the 3rd season because it's leading up to a big battle. But I just feel like it just fell a little bit flat. It was just a bit.
Do you not think it's just as flat as? Do you not think it's just as flat though as seeing Daenerys sailing her ships across the sea at the end of season?
six? No. I just feel that they were blue balling us. They were edging us for the entire season.
But I'm just,
and it kind of just ended on blue balling.
I think that's what they always do. Though, like Daenerys getting her dragons at the end of series 1. John going over the wall.
No, that's a big moment, Tom. That's still a big moment. What was the big moment in this episode?
Then what about where?
There were still big moments in those last episodes. Name me a big moment in this episode that wasn't just leading to everyone's going to come together and have a battle. That's not a big moment. That's not a big moment.
I know a big moment from this episode. Corlys Velaryon getting told off by one of his kids.
Yeah.
No, I get what I understand the argument, but I do think
you could argue that the big moment was Daemon's vision.
If I was doing it, I would do. No, the big moment was probably Rhaenyra finally getting everybody behind her to get an army going.
That wasn't.
She didn't have an army.
It was unpredictable.
Yeah,
it was a bit.
But if I was doing it, I'd probably do 10 episodes, 4 seasons. But
I don't know the full extent of the story, so you know better.
Because there's enough there.
10 episodes. Yeah.
Well, you could probably stretch it to 5. But
we discussed the fact when they announced it was going to be 8 episodes. We discussed it and we were like, okay, if they could do it in 8, do it in 8. I feel like they should have done it in 10.
Yeah.
With what you're saying to me, that there's a battle coming up very, very soon, and it might be the 2nd episode of season 3, why not end season 2 on a massive high?
Yeah, because
to get everyone so excited for season 3.
Because there's an even better battle that
After that.
they could have ended season 3 on.
There you go.
So, yeah,
there you go.
do see it. It's weird choices. It is weird choices, but it's probably all studios and
I'm
money.
just going off by
Studios and money.
because
and
you know
things
the
like
story. I'm just going off by what you've said to me, and it just seems that they could have put it in
But it
there.
doesn't matter because
We're
it's
still
2
gonna get there.
years, Sean, before we're going to get the next
Oh,
season.
it's so annoying.
But
It's so
only
annoying.
6 months, I think, before we get the spin-off.
True. I guess
but
so.
People
I
will
guess
be
so.
confused. They'll be like, "There's another Aegon." They'll be like,
Is this
"Who's
House of the
Aegon?
Dragon season 3?
Is this a prequel to House of the Dragon?" Yeah.
Is this
anyway,
Game of Thrones season 9?
There you go. That's our House of the Dragon finale. We'll have to come up with a different segment, Sean. We'll have to think of a new TV show.
I mean, I do want to actually go on to House of the Dragon. Just stick on it for a second.
Oh, go on.
Don't look it up on IMDb because
Okay.
I want you to guess the ratings
All right,
of the
we're
episodes.
doing a game. Guess the ratings. They do a decimal system like we do on the channel, which
Yeah.
is out of 10, but there's a point.
So I want you to guess the rating of each first episode of season 1 and 2
Of Game of...
of the House of the
Oh,
Dragon.
okay. Of every episode.
So not every episode. So the first episode of season 1, The Heirs of the Dragon. What rating did it?
I reckon
get
it
on?
got 8.1.
Incorrect. 8.7.
Oh, it did quite well.
What about season 2?
What was it called?
A Son for a Son.
They
Which is a good
probably
episode,
8 point. It won't be 8.7 though. I don't think. I think it'll be 8.5.
8.2.
Yeah. Okay. I just think
I
people.
thought it was a good
I just
episode.
think
I
people.
thought that was a good episode.
I think maybe I'm getting old and getting a bit like kids these days, but I just honestly think there is a massive trend to be hypercritical of things these days at the moment than they used to be.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think audiences these days probably have a lesser attention span, therefore lesser patience for certain things.
I mean, I was watching Game of Thrones when it first came out, when not
Yeah.
many people did watch it,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, oh man, this is great.
What do you think the lowest episode of the House of Dragon has been so far?
I couldn't tell you without remembering what the titles are because I can't.
So it's between the final episode, which is the Queen whoever was, and episode 6, Small Folk.
I think it's probably Small Folk.
At what rating?
Probably 6.5.
6.2. And the last episode got 6.3. They are so I don't see. First of all, they're way too low, both of them, because they're not that bad. Come on, guys, you're just complaining, and you're giving it a 1 just because you fucking butthurt. All right, grow up. But Small Folk in particular, I thought that was a great episode, and it got 6.2. And I think the reason why that got review bombed is because of the kiss between Rhaenyra and her advisor.
They did say that it got review bombed because of that reason. It's just trash,
I thought it was a great
isn't it?
episode, though.
It's just trash. And actually, I did buy it. And the reason why I bought it is because I think Mysaria is like just manipulative. I think she's trying to get her way, just like,
in a way,
she's like the inverse of Larys Strong in King's Landing.
And I think Rhaenyra is just a horny bastard.
Yeah. I mean, it's Game of Thrones, man. Come on.
Everyone's horny.
Interesting facts that I was watching the behind the scenes of the last episode.
Okay.
And the guy who plays Ulf was being interviewed. And he literally seems like his character. He's like,
really?
Do you know he was sitting at the table?
Yeah.
He was like, bring me more birds.
Yeah.
He said that he had to eat 30 quails like in the filming of that scene, and he's filming it, and he said he was so like full, and he had to eat 30 quails. Like, I just thought that was outrageous.
He annoyed me.
They actually eat the food.
He annoyed me. I really liked his character.
Yeah, but the whole point.
Then he just lost me.
I love it though because they've lost their monopoly on dragons.
Yep.
And also they've given it to somebody who isn't in the family that's unpredictable.
It's the beginning of the end, like you said. It's the end of the dragon pit and
actually people
Targaryens,
want Rhaenyra to win and think she's great. She's just as arrogant and got enough hubris that she doesn't see what she's doing is wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Or is dangerous.
No, I agree. She's desperate as well. Everyone in this is desperate in a way.
The one that I don't get is Jace Jace or Jacaerys, the son, her son, who's like worried about being seen as not as a Targaryen.
Yeah.
Even though he's Valerian anyway, even though he's not.
He's Valerian,
strong,
but the fact that the small folk are able to
but he
tame dragons.
suggested the idea, and now is like, you've given it to a bunch of blah blah blah.
Yeah, he suggested the idea for people to have
that have noble blood.
And I guess he doesn't believe that these people in particular have noble blood.
Yeah.
But I don't get that either, because she put out almost a post or a message saying any bastards, essentially.
I'll tell you what
So yeah, I agree with you.
Remind me of my favourite episode of House of the Dragon, actually. It's the one before, I think it's the one before Viserys dies, where...
The dinner table.
Not the dinner table, where he like goes into the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
He's like limping and he's got his gold mask.
Oh.
And then Corlys Velaryon had that brother who was like, the crown's not going to your daughter because they're bastards, like that.
And she is a whore.
Yeah, that was the amount of drama in that. We were watching that and then Daemon just goes and like chops his head off. That was my favourite episode.
He was like, and he can keep his tongue because his tongue remained.
Do you remember watching that episode?
Yeah, I did. My favourite episode was the dinner when it was at the dinner table. I think is it Paddy Considine? Yeah,
he came back as well, didn't he? We didn't mention that.
I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
his performance in that. Didn't he win an Emmy for it?
No, he actually got snubbed for it. He didn't get. I don't even think he got nominated.
Really?
But he should have.
Yeah, he should have done. He was so good in it.